So welcome to day one of the 5-day Between the Sheets Pleasure Challenge. I am just so happy that you have decided to say a big yes to exploring and discovering and expanding not just your sexual potential and your sexual pleasure, but also who you are as a woman as well. I know that these next 5 days are going to be all sorts of transforming and change making and empowering, and I cannot wait to share the magic with you. Now, I am losing my voice a little bit. I've been losing it for the last 5 days. And actually the reason behind that is that I've been using some of the tools that I'm going to show you tomorrow as a way of releasing, emotional releasing, that I've been using in my own life for the last couple of days. And as a result, I'm losing my voice. So hopefully I'm praying to the vocal gods that I will be able to sustain my voice for the next 5 days. But let's see, fingers crossed. Now, this challenge is informal. It's not flashy, it's real, it's raw. I want to keep it as conversational, as personal, and as real as possible, yes? So it's me, it's you, it's our gorgeous Facebook group that we've got happening. If you're not a part of it, please come on over and join in the conversation and ask your questions, share your insights, share your breakthroughs or your breakdowns. We're really there to support each other. I think that it's so important that we start having a different conversation around female pleasure and female sexuality, yeah? For so long, we have been given a very patriarchal, performance-based male view of female sexuality, and it's doing no one any favors. It's doing more harm than good. I'm seeing more women come to me with stress-riddled, trauma-laced bodies that are locking them out of I get goosebumps when I think about it, that are locking us out of our innate pleasure, and it's messing with our lives. Because I truly believe that our sexuality, how we can tap into our own pleasure, our own ecstasy, is a doorway into our entire life of who we are in this world, of who we are as women, how we show up not only in the bedroom, but in our work as mothers, in our relationship, and just how we feel every day today in our own skin, yeah? So sexuality, doing this work, is a profound pathway into not just better orgasms, not just better bliss, but into so much more, into deeper, enriching relationships, into more creativity, into our vitality, our energy. So all of this is sort of the reason why I am so passionate. Not just, yeah, the orgasms are amazing, they're great, but it's truly just the icing on the cake. It's about the body love, the self-acceptance, the vitality, the actual feeling goodness that we should all be feeling on a day-to-day basis. So I'm going to be talking a lot more about that during the next 5 days. Every day there'll be a new video with a theme and a home play practice. Now, a little word of butt-kicking sort of pep talk. Please do the practices, yeah? It's one thing to hear me speak, to read the emails, to get it on a psychological level, but if we don't embody these practices, if we don't physically clear out the stuff that's holding us back from our pleasure, it's all for nothing, yeah? We can make a change here, but if we don't make a change here, we're gonna keep coming up against the same blocks, the same hurdles. So please, do the practices. They're not very long. They're about 10 minutes. You can do them in the morning or in the evening or, whenever. But they're designed that you can do them in the bedroom, in your bed. They're super easy. So please, I really want to encourage you for the next 5 days to do the work. Nothing will change unless you do. You guys are here for a reason. There's obviously something that's drawn you to me, to these teachings, to whether you unconsciously or subconsciously know it yet, but there's something wanting to break through inside of you. There's a part of you that's like, yes, I'm ready to feel a deeper pleasure. I'm ready to tap into my creativity, to my vitality, to go deeper into who I am as a sexual woman. So you're here for a reason. You have a desire. Let that desire guide you into action, yeah? Once we start taking action, we start to see results, and then those results will keep us motivated to continue to take the steps necessary in order to to get what we want, to create the shifts and to create the change. So do the work. I promise you, you won't regret it. These practices are short, they're powerful, and they're designed to build upon each other, yeah? So with that being said, today's lesson is all about, or today's teaching is all about self-acceptance. Now this is a biggie, and it's really the foundation. It's the bricks and mortar of everything that comes on top of it. And that's because without self-acceptance, without self-love, there's really no point in embarking on discovering or exploring your own sexuality. Because if we can't hold ourselves with compassion, if we can't meet ourselves for where we are in this moment and love ourselves where we are at right now, we're going to find it really hard to make the changes. We're going to come up against resistance. We're going to have judgment and expectation. And what that does is it creates contraction in the body. It brings us into our mind and it stops our body doing its thing. It stops our body from making the shifts or releasing what needs to be released, because we're always thinking, why me? Why is this? Why isn't it not working for me? Why am I always coming up against this? Why? And when we're coming from that heady thinking place, we're unable to tap into the magic and let our body do its thing, yeah? So self-acceptance, self-love is really the key to all of this. So I wish that I had a wand that I could run around and be like, orgasms for everyone, pleasure, libido, everything. I'm giving you it all. But it's not like that. It takes work. And the only way to get through the work and to make sure that you consistently take baby steps is to hold yourself and love yourself with everything that you've got. Yeah? And now I can't reiterate this enough, that when our sexuality, our sexuality is forever changing. There's going to be times that it's going to feel really icky and yucky, and you're going to want to cry, and you're going to want to have a big cathartic release. If you're judging yourself and you're sort of saying, this is not what I want, I just want the pleasure, then you're not going to allow that release to happen, which will then lead to a deeper sense of ease within your body, which will then open up the space of pleasure, yeah? So that self-acceptance, that meaning of where you're at right now, is going to give you the permission to play, to explore, to discover what is truly there to be felt. Not from what you expect to feel, not what you wish that you felt, but to truly meet what you're feeling in that exact moment, yeah? And to love that and to honor that. So many of us override what we're actually feeling because we're trying to reach an image of what we think we should be feeling. And it's not the case. Sexuality is not, porn stars and orgasms all the time. It's raw and real, and sometimes it's heart-wrenchingly painful and messy, and there's going to be tears, and there's going to be anger, and there's going to be grief, and there's also going to be pleasure and happiness and ecstasy and all of that. So we have to really open up and welcome everything that we experience with open arms and an open heart and an open mind, yeah? So with that, there is a practice that will be at the end of this email, or if you're watching this on Facebook, below Facebook, and it's a Hawaiian prayer. And what I love about this Hawaiian prayer, and there's an audio that will guide you through it, but it really allows you to let go, or to it walks you through letting go that resistance and that judgment and that expectation, and to really honor yourself where you are right now. It gives you the permission to say sorry to yourself if you've been, hoping that you are let me start that again. It gives you the permission to honor yourself where you're at, and to really forgive yourself if you've been pushing yourself into performance, or if you've been overriding what your body's saying, or if you've been saying yes but when you really mean no, or for anything that's sort of coming up, or if you've been hating on your body, if you've been shaming yourself, whatever it is, it allows you to really give yourself the permission and that honoring of, okay, I love you, I'm sorry, I forgive you, and thank you. Yeah, it's truly powerful. It's really one of my favorite audio exercises that I do on the regular. And most of the time, I'm not even sure what is coming up, what is bubbling up, but I do the audio and I allow it all just to be. And it really does shift something on a really deep level. So I want to encourage you to do the audio. It's about 8-9 minutes. And it will allow you to, you don't have to hold any expectation for the practice. You don't even have to think, oh, what am I releasing now? Or what am I actually forgiving or thanking myself for, or anything like that. Just say the words. Just place your hands on your heart and say the words. And whatever will come up will come up. And whatever will arise and shift is all perfect and all necessary. So if you cry, please cry. If you're not feeling very much, honor that numbness. Honor whatever is coming up for you in that moment, yeah? The other exercise is a little journal prompting exercise. And what it's really about is about looking at the garden of your sexuality. So we all have a sort of a garden, a sexual garden as a metaphor. And in it, there is beautiful flowers, but there's also weeds that are growing within our sexual garden. And these weeds can be self-beliefs, they might be limiting behaviors, they might be stories that we play out in our mind or in our life that we've never really consciously looked at. And they could have been planted in there by our parents or by our sexually suppressive culture. It could have been planted in there by religion or female magazines, anything, yeah? So what we want to do is we want to start to look at our sexual garden and see what we want to keep and what we don't want to keep. So there is some questions there to get you thinking about your sexuality and exploring it in a more conscious way. What do we think about our own pleasure? What do we think about our sexuality, yeah? What do we desire? What do we fear? All of those things. So it's a really brief but powerful exercise as well. So I want to really encourage you to do that. You can just write it on a scrap of paper or just think of the questions and answer them on yourself. But do get really clear and really concise and write down as much information as you can. It'll really help you to see where your stories or your limiting beliefs are actually coming from. And we can't change what we can't see. So when we know where they're sort of coming from, we have the power to change them. All right, I don't want to be too long on this video, but again, a big welcome. Please commit to the work. It's only 5 days. There's 2 really beautiful practices for today, and I really look forward to the video tomorrow. We're going to go into creating more space for pleasure, another really good clearing out exercise so that we can bring in the goodness. Again, in Facebook group, please hit me up with any questions. If you're not on the Facebook group, send me an email if you have a question or something that you want to share with me. And until tomorrow, I cannot wait. Go do your practices. Bye.